Good morning, my beautiful people. How you all doing this morning? Congratulations, you made it. It's a new day. Awesome. Come on. Today I want to talk about poverty, the root causes of poverty. Oftentimes, people talk about ways to be rich, 7 ways to be rich, 10 ways to be rich, 15 ways to be rich, 3 things you do to be rich. That's good. But today we want to talk about poverty, why people become poor, and the causes, and what can be done about it. You see, I get amazed when I read in the scripture, Proverbs 19:7. It said the poor man relatives flee from him. Rather, he said the poor man relative avoid him. They avoid him if he's coming. Nobody wants. It's like somebody who has a communicable disease. They avoid him because he's poor. And they said his friend, the same verse say his friends flee from him. Remember, his relatives avoid him. His relatives are the people he's supposed to be closer to, that people supposed to come to him at this difficult time and see what they can do for him to lift him up. But the scripture said they avoid him, and his friends flee from him. They were first his friends, but when things get bad, like I usually say, people will love you until something is wrong with you. So poverty is not a sin, it's not a crime. Like some people say it's a sin or stuff. But poverty is a reproach. When I mean reproach, it's like somebody who has disease, like leprosy and other dangerous communicable disease. Now, we want to look at the reasons or causes, the root causes of poverty. Why people are poor or why people become poor. Now, I'm going to label on these in 3 series. Okay, so you have to be patient with me, but it's going to be in 3 series. So I'm going to have part 1, part 2, part 3. So each of the series will be 3 points discussed. Now, we're going to look at 9 reasons, 9 root causes of poverty. And this, I'm not trying to scare you. And these 9 reasons and causes of poverty, you have to identify which pertains to you and do something about it. Else, you would die poor. And God forbid you wouldn't want to do that. You see, there's no point in life living long and living in poverty. It doesn't make sense. That he lived long, but he was poor, or he died poor. It doesn't make any sense at all. So we must do something about this issue as we go further to discuss it, all right? Now, like I said, 1, the causes of poverty. I'm going to treat the first one, which is government. Now, the government of the day or in any country can subject you to poverty. Now, listen, poverty is not particular to any country, any region, any race. Now, in the street of New York, there are people who are poor sleeping on the street. They call them rough sleepers. They sleep rough. They have no homes, homeless. They can barely feed. On the street of London, there are people who are homeless, sleeping on the street. They beg to eat. In Africa, in the cities of Africa, the big cities of Africa, there are people who sleep on the street, who are homeless, can't feed themselves. or their family. So poverty is something we have to fight bitterly against. You see, when people begin to measure poverty, the index to measure poverty, people say if you're living below $2 and stuff, if you're living below certain amount of money, you're poor. No, let's define poverty. Poverty is when when you are unable to meet your basic needs. Your basic needs, your physiological needs, the basics. I'm not talking about buying cars, or flying an airplane, or having trips abroad, or building mansions or edifices, or doing great things, having a degree, or having a title and stuff like that. No, these are they're the bigger needs of a man. They're the psychological need of a man, the bigger need, the ego need. But we're not talking about the physiological need, the basics. If you're unable to meet your basic needs as a human being, you're poor. What are the basic needs? You can pay your rent. You can clothe yourself or your family. You can put food on the table for yourself or your family. You're poor. So now, follow me. All right, we're going to discuss reasons why people are poor. And I want to say to you, our preachers who pray for people who are poor, they are false preachers or false prayer consultants. They are fake and false. You don't pray for poverty. You don't pray somebody out of poverty. You teach them out of poverty. You can pray for some other disease, some other things happening, around some other issues of life. You can pray about them, but not poverty. Poverty, you teach the person. And that's why the Bible says, it is your God, your Lord, that gives you power to make wealth. Power to make wealth. Power is the wisdom and understanding. Not to somebody to just say, sit down or kneel down and put oil on your head and pour some grease on your head and you start sweating like a he-goat. And they will even demand some kind of seed from you, some kind of money from you. You're wretched, you're poor. You came to somebody for help. The poverty is something that's beyond somebody coming to preach or pray for you, rather. You need to be taught. You need to be informed to get out of it. Okay, right now, we want to look at number one, the reason why people are poor. I told you we're going to treat it in parts. Government. You see, a government can subject you to poverty. Probably you were doing well before, and the government comes in place with crazy fiscal policies or monetary policies or many other policies, and run the economy down. And that will affect your livelihood. You're doing better in your business, at your work, and the government comes and everything shifts. And you couldn't get a balance anymore. And you slide into poverty. So, sadly, in most countries where corruption is endemic, people are wickedly, like they say, fantastically corrupt. People in government have no conscience. They steal without conscience. They loot. They reduce the people to beggars. They mess up the mind and the system because of their greed. quantum greed, because of their evil ambitions. You know, a government that's stupid and irresponsible deprive the people the 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 dividend of democracy or the duty of the state. You see, people in government, they don't own the country, they don't own the government. They're stewards. They're there to serve. They're there to manage the resources of the government for the people. That is why I say government is for the people, by the people. So anybody in government, anybody at the helm, anybody in control in the government is simply a steward, nothing else. And if you cannot deliver the duty of the state and the dividend of democracy, you're worse than an infidel. You steal the resources, the commonwealth of a nation. You snatch it for you and your family because you have no confidence in your country. You have no confidence in your country. You believe less in your country. You steal and snatch these monies in foreign countries. Some of you snatch it in wells, in boreholes, because you're stupidly greedy. And you make the people to suffer for what they own. And that is why when you cannot deliver on as a government officer, whether you're a leader in any level, when you cannot deliver to the people and the people become used to not having what is theirs, what they desire, what they should have, you deprive them of these things. So each time they manage to see a bit of it, they jump up and jubilate and think you're doing them good or you're doing them a favor, not knowing that that is what they actually deserve, that it belongs to them. Now, if basic things can be put in place, it will be a catalyst to economic growth and economic development. If government can do what they should do, government in anywhere, I'm not particular about any country, but it can be in Africa, in Europe, in America, in Asia. If a government is responsive and responsible to do the basics for the people, for the masses, that would be a catalyst for the people to do well. You have good road, steady water supply, constant electricity, healthcare, name it. These are the basics. These are the basics. And many more. So if the people can have these facilities for themselves provided, because they deserve it, they own it, they should have it, they have the right to have it. If they can have all of these, that will be a catalyst to stimulate the economy to a greater height and to create jobs. External economy of scale, internal economy of scale, jobs will be created. Because this thing exists, this business venture exists, it will support another to exist. In a country, you don't have electricity, you don't have water, you don't have a good road, you don't have security for the people, nothing. So what is government doing for the people with the resources of the people? A government that's supposed to be a steward, not a lord. So government can subject a people or a person to poverty. So in such a situation, what do? For those who have the means, they can leave the country, such a country for those who have the means. So how about those who doesn't have the means? Their faith is in God's hand, praying that God will bring them a leader someday that's compassionate, that is selfless, that is not wicked. All right, my people, that is number one, which is government. Second reason second reason that can cause poverty is laziness. Yeah, laziness. Even the Bible says, little sleep, little slumber, folding of your arms. Your poverty comes like a thief. Yeah. There are people who are naturally lazy. They're naturally lazy. They wouldn't do anything. They have excuses not to do something. They procrastinate. When others have taken off and flying to greater height, they are busy giving reasons why they can't start. They are lazy to do something that will benefit them. Perhaps they have somebody who helps them each time they need something. So they are reliant on a person. Can I tell us something? Help is good. When you help somebody is good. But there's a limit or level where you can help somebody. You make that person dysfunctional. You make that person dysfunctional because you often give that person, and that person becomes reliant and dependent on you, that their mind is blank. In their subconscious, they become lazy. They wouldn't do nothing. Laziness is addictive. Yeah, it's addictive. Each time a person will see reasons why they wouldn't do a thing. They're slothful. So when you're slothful, you can plunge yourself into poverty. The Bible says, have you seen a man who is diligent in his business? He will sit with kings and not with ordinary men, and not with mean men. Have you seen a man who is diligent? Diligent means you're not lazy. You wake up in good time. Can I shock you? Yeah. People who can make it in life, or people who have made it in life, there's one thing they respect is time. Time. Time is so precious. It's more precious than gold. You can lose money and get it someday. But if you lose time, you will never get it back. So when you're lazy with your life, you're losing time. So stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. It says, walk while it is day, for night will come when no man can walk. Do it now. All right, that's number 2. Laziness, the reason why people plunge into poverty or why people become poor. So we look at number 3, physically challenged person. Physically challenged person. Now, in situations like this, such person can be excused if the situation is dire. But I've seen people who are physically challenged, terribly physically challenged. They have no arms, no limbs, nothing. But they became great. they became great. Fanny Cripsey said, the lady who sang many hymns, she wrote about 500 hymns, she was born blind. She said, the blind mind is worse than the blind eye. The blind mind is worse than the blind eye. Insight is better than eyesight. Your insight is more valuable than your eyesight. You can be looking, you can be seeing, and not perceiving anything. Physical challenges is not an excuse. Yes. Physical challenges is not it's not an excuse. I've seen somebody around me who is physically challenged, but you'll be amazed by how much this person has saved in their hustles. Very amazed that people who have both hands and legs and eyes and everything functioning can make. It amazes me when I see people who have everything functioning, and still complains. Now, if you feel you're physically challenged, I feel for you. I understand your story. I understand your pain. But God is not concerned about that which you don't have working. He's concerned about that which you have working, that which you have left. You don't have an eyesight, but you have a mouth. You can speak, but you have your arms your hand working. Your hand is functional. There must be something left. And the reason why God made you that way is for His glory. You can still achieve greatness. You can still do something. You can still jump out of poverty and stop letting people have pity on you and people giving you arms, and you sit with an excuse that you're poor. Sit with an excuse that you're physically challenged. No. Like I said, Fanny Cripsey, she was born blind. She wrote over 500 hymns. She did great things. That is the reason she said, a blind mind is worse than the blind eye. Are we talking about the legendary Steve Wonders? He played guitar to the amazement of all, but he's blind. There are great people. So physically challenged could be a reason why somebody can be poor. But that shouldn't deter you. That shouldn't discourage you to pull yourself out of poverty and be great. All right, my good people. Thank you so much for listening, taking time to listen. This is all of you at True Talk. Now, if you like my post, this is part 1 of the root causes of poverty. So if you like my post and you want to hear more and listen more about the other causes of poverty, find me on my YouTube channel. All of you True Talk, like, share, post, and more especially subscribe and drop a comment. Love you. God bless you. I'll be on your path soon. Awesome. One love.